From the first yeshiva ever founded by Shem and Aver, through the enslavement in Egypt, past Alexander's mighty conquest, to Roman sovereignty and the destruction of our holy temple, with inquisitions and pogroms, all the way to the most catastrophically recent Holocaust, our nation of Jews had been constantly attacked, subjugated to slaughter and suffering. Yet the one thing that kept the spirit and most essential identity of our people alive was the diligent and vigorous study of Torah. In 1969, Rabbi Zalman Deutscher took upon himself the responsibility to ensure the education of Jewish children in New York by founding Yeshiva Day School of South Queens in Ozone Park. Many Jews in the USSR during the 20th century had their religious convictions weakened and declined. This was compounded by the threat of assimilation, which has always been a major obstacle in the journey to bringing back the Jewish children to committed Torah observance. This warranted a great need for the revival of Jewish education among those immigrating to the U.S. One of the heroes answering the spiritual call of ensuring the children's education was Rabbi Deutscher himself.
The reason that the yeshiva was founded was to try to take children that would be in the public school system and expose them, sell the concept of yeshiva education, and have them come to the yeshiva so they can get a thorough grounding in Yiddishkeit, in Judaism, and at the same time, quality education.
The passion, which he used to fulfill his vision of restoring Torah observance to the third-generation Americans and later immigrant children, is awe-inspiring.
Over the past 35 years, he's been my father, my older brother, my Rebbe, my Rosh Yeshiva, my confidant, my psychiatrist. I mean, you know, he's done everything for me, monetarily, physically, spiritually. I mean, you can't really thank somebody who just does the entire life.
In the first year, the yeshiva had 65 children, with the first graduating class in 1977. Rabbi Deutscher didn't wish to have more than approximately 160 children at the time, since at that number, he maintained a close relationship with every child and their family in the yeshiva.
The kindness that Rabbi Deutscher shows to people, not just who come to his school to learn, but to his staff, to the parent body, to anyone that walks in his door.
In 1985, the school relocated to Flushing and became Yeshiva Institute. Through the 1980s, more and more Jews began flooding the U.S. until the yeshiva was overwhelmed with a growing need to educate these children, but with nowhere to place them within the yeshiva.
In 1984, when I went into public school, because there was no space in this yeshiva and no other yeshiva wanted to take us, Rabbi Deutscher found out. He said, he's in public school, can't be. We have to take him out.
Bothered by the unfortunate circumstance, Rabbi Deutscher contacted Rabbi Dov Wolowitz and said, "Dov, I'm frustrated. For the first time in my life, I'm turning children away." That's when Rabbi Wolowitz, together with Itzi Lab and other Askanim in Queens, founded Torah Academy of Queens. They looked to help all immigrating Jews, escaping whatever hardships from their home countries, offering their children a rightful opportunity for a Jewish life. Russians, Iranians, Bukharians, European, as well as American Jews of all backgrounds. It made no difference. If you were an unaffiliated Jew with any minuscule desire to learn, you were welcome here. In Rabbi Deutscher's eyes, we are all one and the same. His love towards Jewish children was unconditional.
We're not passers through his yeshiva. We're not just, we did our time and now we went to somewhere else. It's always, we're his Talmidim. We're like his children.
If someone loves you, you can feel that love. And Rabbi Deutscher's inner love for all people, for Klal Yisrael, that reflects onto everyone and everyone loves him back.
We came to America in 1987. Language was still difficult. Rabbi Deutscher took us in, even though we couldn't pay the full tuition. He said, pay whatever you can. He didn't turn us away.
Ever since I started as a student and now as a worker in the school, I really see his dedication for each individual child.
He keeps looking out for our benefits, for our goals, to see how could he further better our lives.
Everyone I know loves Rabbi Deutscher dearly.
To this day, he's the greatest person I have ever come across.
It's pretty much a family school. It's the community. He does everything for the community.
Because what he did for me, it continues to my children, and it will continue to their children.
In the beginning, it was difficult. Rabbi Deutscher worked endlessly, day and night, to make sure no Jewish soul was left behind. He was determined to grant a proper Jewish education to all unaffiliated children, whether they could afford it or not.
I'm not here to give a tuition break to parents. Everyone realizes that $2,800 a year, I mean, it's ludicrous in terms of what other yeshivas are charging and what the costs are. My idea is to take a child that would be in public school, give him a yeshiva education, give him the chance to really appreciate and understand and know who he is and what he is, and to appreciate the Yiddishkeit, and to appreciate and to develop a feeling of self-confidence as a proud Yid.
Pirkei Avot. Shimon HaTzadik used to say, on three things the world stands: on Torah, on service of God, and on acts of human kindness. The Yeshiva's faculty embody all these magnificent requirements. They commit the greatest act of kindness by serving God through teaching the future generation of Jews and ensuring the continuity of the survival of our people. Over 1,000 students have graduated from this school. Rabbi Deutscher secured not only the spiritual future of his students, but provided a sophisticated secular education too, breeding Torah scholars as well as successful and intelligent professionals.
Thank God we had Rabbi Deutscher, who saw the potential in all of us, who saw little kids coming from a foreign land, and who said, these are neshamot that we need to save. These are people we need to bring into our yeshiva. And he did, and he brought us in, and he made all of us feel like we were special in his eyes.
His passion and pure intention for the sake of heaven attracted such recognition that in 1982, Rabbi Ovadia Yosef himself visited the yeshiva personally and gave all the kids his blessing.
And I asked Rabbi Yosef, can you give me a sefer that delineates all the minhagim of the Sephardim, of the different Sephardic communities? So he asked me what he needed for us. I said, look, the parents said, Etzleinu, in our community, we keep Shabbos, we make Kiddush on Friday night, but we're not that, it's our minhag to drive to shul. If I had a sefer with minhagim, I could say. So he laughed, he said, I have the same problem.
During a discussion between Rabbi Deutscher and Rabbi Ovadia, the two concluded, communism cut the cable of Jewish identity, and we are here to reconnect it. It is the value in educating our children, and by extension, the next generation of American Jewry, that inspired Rabbi Deutscher to build the Kiruv Yeshiva you see today. Yeshiva Primary.
I want to thank Mrs. Klein for being the nice principal.
I've been working at Yeshiva Primary for over 23 years. I've loved working here. Our goal here is for every student to reach their potential.
My favorite teacher is Dr. Douglas. Mama Dewawa.
For the last 16 years, I'm very proud to say that I teach in Yeshiva Primary. I feel that each child in the class is a diamond. You just have to dust off a little bit of dust, teach them about Hashem, teach them about mitzvahs, teach them about Ahavas Yisrael. and this brings wonderful satisfaction and joy to my life.
When the students have told me that they told over the story of the Parsha at the Shabbos table, it gives me tremendous fulfillment.
You build a connection, you be a role model, and you're there to be someone for the kids, to be someone in the kids' future.
Ever since I started as a student and now as a worker in the school, I really see his dedication for each individual child, even children who may be a little hard to deal with. He does not give up. He really cares for each neshama.
It's very different from a regular school, because a regular school is where teachers come in and they teach and they leave at the end of the day and they go to their own houses. But here, it's more of a school and a home put together.
I worked in the public school system, and this was definitely a big change. And everyone here is so warm, and the kids are full of life.
You have to treat your students as if they would be your own son. If the student feels that, then you've accomplished your purpose.
Yet, despite Rabbi Deutscher's immense faith, we need your help to ensure the future of our people. William Ward once said, "The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires." And Rabbi Deutscher has certainly inspired us all.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Deutscher.
Thank you, Rabbi Deutscher.
Thank you, Rabbi Deutscher.
Thank you, Rabbi Deutscher.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rabbi Deutscher.
Thank you, Rabbi Deutscher.
Thank you, Rabbi Deutscher.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Deutscher.
Thank you, Mrs. Klein.
Thank you, Rabbi Deutscher. We love you.